good Sunday morning. I'm Jennifer Ross, along with two extra special, actually three people, but you're only going to hear from two that joined me in the studio this morning. I have Kim Hauslinger. She is the co-chair of a special event, Take a Walk on the Wild Side. We'll talk about that in a minute. And Dotty Molski, who is the executive director of the Sawgrass Nature Center and Wildlife Hospital. Right?
Right.
I got all that good, and I got your name right.
Yes.
I was worried about that, Kim. So, Dotty, let me start with you. What is the Sawgrass Nature Center and Wildlife Hospital? Obviously, Wildlife Hospital, but what is the rest of it?
We're a private 501c3 corporation, which means that we have to raise all our own funds, but we take in injured native wildlife that might be sick or orphaned, and we rehabilitate them with the hopes of releasing them back into the wild.
Okay, where are you guys? Obviously, near the Sawgrass. But
right, we're located in Coral Springs in Sportsplex Park. We're just at the intersection of Sample Road and Sawgrass Expressway.
Okay.
Very close to that.
Now, you said native animals, and that would entail what kind of animal?
Possums, raccoons, different birds, anything that is indigenous to South Florida.
Panther, cougar, that kind of thing?
Yes, although we have never gotten one in. I think we're in a spot that we really don't have direct access to the Everglades, so I doubt we will get one in. But anything that's not native, like your Muscovy ducks, because we're licensed by Florida Fish and Wildlife, we cannot take them in unless we find an adoptive parent who will never release them, keep them forever, which financially we can't afford to do, or we have to euthanize them, which we obviously don't want to do. So we do find places to relocate them.
Why is that duck?
Because it's a Muscovy duck, it's not native to Florida.
Okay, I understand that, but
Right.
what danger does the duck pose to?
Because it would interbreed with other native ducks and corrupt the species.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Jeez.
And it's the law.
Really?
Yeah.
I never knew that. All right, so you'd like save a possum, so it's like somebody hit a possum on the side of the road or saw a possum on the side of the road
They
that
could
wasn't
bring
dead?
it to us, yep.
Really?
They could bring it to us. And sometimes if someone sees an animal that's just recently been hit, especially on the little possums, if it's a mother slowly crossing the street, she may have babies in her pouch. And sometimes, although the mother died, people might reach into the pouch and remove them and bring the babies to us for safety.
There would be some who would say, do we really care that you saved the possum?
Well, there are some that would say that, but they were here first. We all personally love them, and they do a good job. Possums, for example, are a garbage can to have around your house. They'll eat the mice, they'll eat the roaches, they'll do a lot of good things and benefit your area. They really will not be harmful. People get afraid of those teeth that look so wicked, but they really are not aggressive animals at all.
Dotty Molski is the executive director of the Sawgrass Nature Center and Wildlife Hospital. Now, Kim, you were involved with a walk. It's Walk on the Wild Side. Now,
Yes.
it's you and your husband are
Yes.
the co-chairs?
Yes.
Okay, tell me about the walk. When is it? Where is it? And what's it for?
Well, the walk will be at the Sawgrass Nature Center, and it will be held February 25th. That's a Saturday. And it's a fun walk. It's not you don't have to get up at 6 a.m. It's a fun morning walk. Bring the family, bring the kids, the grandparents, the dog, and all the benefits from this walk go directly to the Sawgrass Nature Center and Wildlife Hospital.
Okay, usually when people get involved with the charity, it is because of a personal involvement. Is it just your love of animals, or did you hit a possum?
A few years back, I did have an uncle who had a parrot, and he passed away, and we then needed to find a place for the parrot. And some might think that it's not an ideal location for him because he is not a native. However, he is there and he's used for educational purposes. So kids and families and people can learn more about what animals are part of South Florida and how some of the non-natives arrived at South Florida. So that's what brought me there, and I've stayed ever since.
Did you find a home for the parrot after all
Yes,
that?
he's at the Nature Center.
He's
He's one of their bigger
Educational programs.
Yeah,
I will mention there that although I said we don't take in non-native species, there are occasions that we do in fact accept them, knowing that we will keep them forever, but they become part of our educational ambassadors.
Absolutely.
Because we hold a lot of educational programs at the center, and one of the things we teach is pet responsibility and the effect that non-native species have on our native species.
Familiar with the Bush Wildlife Center?
Yes,
Very
very
similar.
much like Bush.
Okay, that is located in Jupiter, so
Right.
you guys are pretty far apart, so I would
Yeah.
assume if you're going to Bush, you're probably pretty far away from your organization and vice versa. Kim, you mentioned your Walk on the Wild sign is on Saturday, February 25th, and where it was. What time does it start?
9:30 a.m. will start for registration, and then 10 a.m. will start for the walk.
And how far are you going?
It's less than a mile. It's a fun walk. We don't want kids dragging and people getting tired and huffing and puffing, so it's less than a mile.
Less than a mile, and are there festivities following the walk?
Absolutely. There will be refreshments, there will be prizes, raffle prizes. This walk also incorporates what we call 4 ways to win, which means that you can form teams, and the team to make the most money, bring in the most money, will win a prize. The team that has the most members will win a prize. The individual that brings in the most donations will win a prize, and then each team leader will also receive a free raffle ticket and possibly win a prize. So we try to really encourage it and give them incentive to show up that morning and join us.
Is this the first year for the Walk on the Wild sign?
We did this last year, and we raised $5,000.
Awesome.
And before everyone left, I really encouraged them to please bring one more person, and hopefully with the addition of extra people, we can double that 5,000 and make it 10,000.
That would be awesome. Now all the money goes to the Sawgrass Nature Center. Dotty, for example, you save a possum or a bunch of baby possums. For somebody who's never seen a possum and they don't know what they eat or what the care involves, how much would it cost you to save a possum, say?
Well, I would
Ballpark.
I would know more specifically on some of the birds, because I just did a study on that.
Okay.
Believe it or not, when a baby bird comes in, they could be with us 3 or 4 months. So if you talk about all the specialized food that they have to have, and we have to buy a non-automatic closing heat pad for them to keep them warm all night, etc., it could cost us $80, $85 for each bird.
What's an automatic closing heat pad? I heard the non-automatic. What is the automatic?
Well, now as a safety feature, a lot of the heating pads will shut off after a certain amount of time. And we need ones that will stay on all night so that the birds don't get cold in the middle of the night. And they're getting harder and harder to find.
Oh, you know what? Yeah, I would never have thought of something like that.
I know, it's really surprising.
Don't you have those heat lamps, though, like they
We do put heat lamps on, but they actually sit on a heating pad, and then their artificial nest will sit on top of that.
So if I wanted to come and look at all these animals, I can just come to your center and pet them and look at them?
No, you can't do that. By law, the area in which we're rehabbing the animals that we intend to release, it's off... the general public can't be admitted to that, because we want to have minimal contact with human beings, because these animals will be released. The area that you can go to is, we have about 8 different tanks and 2.5 dozen habitats of animals that have permanent injuries. They might have one eye that they're blind in, or they've had to have part of the tip of a wing amputated, so they can't fly well, but they can still have a nice life living with us and be animal ambassadors. So those are the animals that are on exhibit at our facility.
You keep on talking about birds. What's the most common injury? They get hit by a car? I mean, what happens to a bird?
Well, actually, we get in a lot of babies. That's what we get in a lot, and we get a lot of cat attacks and dog attacks.
Really?
Yeah.
Holy cow. Well, I was just curious. All right. You also have another walk or another event coming up, Dotty.
It's called Go Wild in the Park, and it is being held on Saturday, January 28th.
That's next Saturday.
Yes, from 10 to 3 o'clock. And it's a community event as well as an educational event, and having a lot of fun. There's music, there's live animal presentations in which we bring in large animals. McCarthy Wildlife from West Palm Beach is coming to do a presentation for us. And we have games and crafts, and there's a plant sale, and there are exhibitors that come in to sell items that they've made. We have food for sale, and we try to keep it very reasonable. There is a $5 admission charge, an admission donation for each, but that will cover everything except the rock climbing wall, the food, the items for sale by the exhibitors, and some specialty items. So we try to keep the cost to encourage all families to come, as well as adults. I mean, they'll have a lot of fun seeing these animal presentations as well as listening to the music. And our theme this year is Wild Outdoor Adventure. we're trying to encourage the people in South Florida to learn what's available in the great outdoors here and to engage them in the love of the outdoors. So we have a little trail map where each of the children will be given a stamp at different locations where they visit an animal or they visit an exhibitor, and when they complete their trail map with all its stamps, they get a prize to go home with.
Oh, so I can dress up like Jeff Corwin and just kind of wander around, is that it?
Yes.
Are you crazy like those people? You stick your hands in holes where you don't know what's inside it?
No, I'm not.
Okay, just thought I'd ask.
We do have volunteers for that, though.
We practice a lot of safety procedures. That is paramount.
I was going to say, it's starting to worry about you over there, Dotty. Kim, have you ever stuck your hand in a hole and not known what was on the other side? I was just curious. Kim Hauslinger, who is the co-chair for the Walk on the Wild Side, another event, which is coming up on February 25th. It starts at 9:30, and you said it was where?
It is at the Sawgrass Nature Center and Wildlife Hospital. Registration's at 9:30, walk begins at 10.
The address is 3000 Sportsplex Park in Coral Springs.
You guys got a website, right?
Yes, we do.
Who wants to give me the website?
Right.
That was in unison. You did that really well. Try that one more time.
Sawgrass
One more time. Yes, we do.
Yes, we do. Sawgrassnaturecenter.org.
Sawgrassnaturecenter.org.
And actually, the teams, if you wish to set up a team for the walk, you can do all of that right online at sawgrassnaturecenter.org or snc.dojiggy.com.
Do Jiggy?
Yep.
I won't ask where the Do Jiggy came
Good,
from.
because I don't know.
Okay.
It's there and it works.
Kim, I can't thank you enough. Dotty, I thank you both for joining me this morning, along with your husband Alan, who's hanging out in the back of the studio over here.
And we want to thank you so much for
Very
having us.
much.
No, thank you
Appreciate
for
you
coming in.
having us.
I appreciate it, and I wish you the best with all the possums and the birds and whatever else you guys bring in, and especially good luck with your walk to raise
Thank you
funds.
so much.
Thanks.
Appreciate it very much.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.